Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command as always. Obviously that's the name of the ship. We will be changing the name of the ship, so don't forget to leave your comment down below of what you want the ship to be called so we can have our vote next week. And yeah, whichever one receives the highest vote, then we will name that for May. So leave your comments down below for that. As always, thank you to the new subscribers. If you want to consider subscribing to the channel, then obviously hit that subscribe button. If you want to become a member, don't forget to smash that members button as well. I do release videos on occasion before to members before obviously it goes to the community, so that's the bonus, and you get to talk to me directly as well. So yeah, there is that, but you don't have to. But anyway, today's video is going to be about sort of your interim, what to do in between different arcs. As we all know, the arc is going to be finishing tomorrow, so we've got one more day on this. As you can see, one more day, and you should be, hopefully, if not already done, or doing, should I say, not done because it hasn't finished yet, but you sure are doing, is trying to complete this overflow, because the overflow is pretty good now. Well, I say it's pretty good. It's something that you're going to have to do to get these broken deceiling rods, so that you can obviously get your free treasury sort of things every time that you get base. I think it's 4,200 that you need. It should appear in here when the treasury was on, but it didn't for me personally. But they did address that on Discord and saying that it was basically broken and it wasn't going to appear. So yeah, I'm thankful that they did address that, but it's something that they definitely should have sorted out prior to prior to the event taking place, and these obviously the broken rods being in the game. I think 4,200 is quite extensive. I feel like that's a lot, unless you're somehow going to get them from other places where I don't know where you would get them. But I feel like that's a lot because you can get them from the 30-day chests as well. And this is, you get 360 from them as well, which is not too bad, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like 4,200 is quite a lot. I was maybe thinking more around the sort of maybe the 1,000 mark. That would seem a little bit more adequate for me, because that's still like 2, maybe even 3 arcs worth of getting to see them rods. So I was thinking more something on the lines of that, but clearly they went. But yeah, so the event itself is coming to an end. What should you then do between now and the next event? How should you spend your resources, materials, whatever you've accumulated over the course of this arc, which normally lasts something like, what, 25, 26 days, something like that? I don't exactly know, but something similar to that. So yeah, what should you do? And to be honest, this is obviously just the way I do things, and obviously this is just purely my opinion. So just take it with however you want to take it. You don't have to do this, but I feel like this method works best. And I'm going to mainly talk about the research and what you should do with research. So obviously you've got the 7 different branches of research tree now, and throughout your time doing the arc itself, obviously it's not going to be completely relevant the entire time, but for a lot of the arc, I do recommend doing things in territories if possible. Just because when you do things in territories, most of the time you're going to be using, these resources here, like the ISO. You're going to be using obviously your different particles, and you're not actually going to be using your materials, your 3-star or your 4-star materials that you're going to need for research. And obviously you're going to be accumulating a lot more of them as well during the arc periods as well. And so you should be saving them up, in my opinion. Try and save them up as much as you can, and try and do any research, whether that be in this tree or whether that be in any of the other trees that don't actually use materials up. Obviously a good way to do that is use obviously territory for that reason, or you could do away teams as well, because away teams, as you can see, just use obviously these little award tokens. And what are you doing, doggo? And I've got the dog below me, and he is I don't know what he's doing. He's I think he's just checking out the PC, weirdly. So yeah, I recommend doing these throughout the entire arc, just to save up as much materials as you can, 3-star, 4-star and everything. And then when it comes to the interim periods, i.e. the end of the arc, like we're coming to now, once you've completed your 20th one, i.e. once you've finished, I did get the battle pass as well, by the way. I got it on the cheaper one. I can't really talk about it, but I got it level 20 anyway. Once you get to level 20, this is when I recommend then switching over your research. Switch over your research to do anything you then need to do with regards to materials, because at that point you'll have accumulated a hell of a lot of materials, hopefully over the course of the 20 odd days that the arc's been running, which means you can go into combat, galaxy, dozen station if you need to still, obviously starship stuff, you know, if you need to do any of this type of stuff, and that's slightly different than starship stuff, but galaxy tree, you can do all your different stuff and use your materials that you've accumulated over the course of that month, as this will obviously be beneficial. Obviously that's slightly different because they obviously don't use the same materials, but this is how I recommend doing it. As you can see, I've accumulated quite a lot of materials, and this is what I'm personally going to be doing. I'll start using them materials. Winston, knock it off. I'll get them on camera in a second as well, by the way, if you want to see them. But yeah, so that's what I recommend to do. And this is also a good time as well, obviously, if you've got any long projects, anything like that, it's a good time to save up and then use them materials for obviously any of these long projects, i.e. things like obviously the ops building, because you can save up the materials and then you can obviously trigger whatever buildings you're going for. As you know, and I've already spoke about already, I'm going to be going to ops level 40. That's where I'll be going to ops level 40, and that's where I will personally be staying. And then I'll be staying there for probably a significant length of time. So as you can see, I'm upgrading at the moment to 39, and I've got a hell of a long way to go to get to 39. 64 days to be precise. I will speed that up as and when we can, and when we get speed ups or Latinum or whatever else, so I will try and speed that up a little bit. But I'm not in a huge rush, so it won't get sped up too much, I wouldn't have thought. I don't know, it depends how impatient I get. But yeah, I will be going to level 40, as that is, as I've seen so far, the optimal level for me personally. Obviously it might be different for you, but that's the optimal level for me personally. And we will be progressing down the research tree even more, as ops level 39 research will obviously come into come out, and ops level 40 research will come out as well. A quick update on where we are with the base, where we are with research and the base. Obviously that's the base. We're going to level 39. We've done all the requirements that we need for level 39, so we'll go obviously upgrading that. And in terms of research, we finally maxed out our battleship stuff, other than the 3 here, which we'd still need to get penetrate, I think tactical. We still need to get this tactical, which we will be doing as soon as research slots become available. We also need to finish our explorer, and we do need to finish our interceptor, but they're not priority. Battleship and explorer are the most at the moment. We've also managed to get to level 6 onto the Romulan things here as well, which we will be increasing as and when we can. It just takes a very long time to do. And then in terms of station, we haven't really done anything, so we're going to ignore that for now. And as you can see down here, we've got the multi-plectrum shielding and hull, ablative hull armor. They've been now upgraded to 6 and 5, which is obviously quite significant. So that is pretty decent, as well as we've done a few more levels on hull durability and shield modification as well. We are now focusing predominantly, we've done a bit of away teams in the last couple of days. We got these all to level 2, and we got these all up to level, got these 2 up to level 3, which we will be adding to that as well and getting them up even more. In territories, we are now focusing on research to try and make our research cost even less than they used to, which is going to be a massive help when research obviously is something that I'm focusing on massively at the moment. And I do advise most people to focus on research, because that lasts throughout the entire game, whereas a ship or something on the lines of a ship will not last the entire game. You will come and go with ships, whereas research will pass on to every single ship in the game, depending on what type of research obviously you go for. And obviously things like warp core and stuff like that, these are things that you definitely need to get maxed out as soon as possible, because they're going to help you directly with traveling around the galaxy. But yeah, that's where we are with the research. That's what we're doing with research. In terms of the buildings, as I've already said, we are pretty much at 38 across the board, other than a few random buildings here and there. Obviously, this is the refinery, but we need the warehouse, and I'm not really focusing on warehouse stuff at the moment. But we need to get a few of these up as well. This obviously building needs to get upgraded with regards to research efficiency as well. But we haven't had the crystal available because we had to put it towards the ship hangar. But now we've got the battle pass, it should be a lot easier for us. And let's get Doggo, because he is whining because he wants to leave. So we'll get him up here and have a little show, and then you coming up? Come here. Oh, you're gonna say hello to everyone. Say hello. Say hello. So yeah, so we've got Doggo, got Winstano. His name's Winston. So yeah, we got him. He's a big. Oh, don't hit your head on there. But yeah, he's a big softy. Get down then. Big softy. But other than that, don't forget to consider subscribing to the channel. And I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.